Welcome back, everybody. It's your daily reminder to sign up for the Rod Squad newsletter. It's free. You can get it at rodpeterson.com. Brought to you by Suds Regina. Hey, rookie Arseny Gratzuk and Cody Glass each had a goal and an assist, and New Jersey held on to beat the Edmonton Oilers 2-1 on Tuesday night. Kevin Karius, following the game, was probably there from Sports Radio 1440 Edmonton. Dickie, I'm sure it didn't go over well. What was your take of the Devils beating the Oilers last night? I had that pick wrong.
Oh, well, I think a lot of people did. I was at the game. The first 40 minutes were abysmal for the Oilers, didn't show up. They couldn't connect on a pass if their life depended on it. There were more fans on passes and shots. If they were passing to a player that didn't connect on the pass, that player, then he wasn't there. They came on hard in the last 20 minutes and had a lot of chances to tie this game or send it to overtime, but New Jersey's been really good, 17-0 now, 17-0 and leading after 40 minutes. And they were on a back-to-back. The Oilers couldn't get it done. And this was just another opportunity that has failed them to win 3 games in a row. They have not won 3 games in a row all season. It's a sort of a funny stat to see where they are in the standings. They've been getting the points. They win 2 out of 3, or they'll get an overtime point. But they haven't won 3 in a row yet this year, Normie.
Well, okay. Well, I want to hear from the Oilers fans. 902-518-3033. We hear from them every day anyways. But you're there. You're at the games. I'm just saying, what are you talking about on your show? Because you're seeing the parity is at an all-time high. The games are closer than they've ever been. The Oilers aren't going to have – nobody's having a real dominant season other than Tampa Bay of late. How – anxious are the fans with this hockey team right now?
I think they're just kind of playing the waiting game right now. And I think this is around the league too, Normie. I think everyone wants us to get to the Olympic break, reassess where they are. Yeah. A few teams have made some moves, made some adjustments here, like Rasmus Anderson, and Kiefer Sherwood moving in trades of recent days. But I think for the most part, a lot of these teams, Oilers included, want to see where they are moving into the break here. They're carrying 3 goalies right now, and they have to because Tristan Jarry, he's been on IR twice this year, and they can't afford to send a guy like Cal Pickard down just in case something happens. I'll tell you what, between right now Connor Ingram and Tristan Jarry, the Oilers are getting excellent goaltending and really, really good goaltending since the trade, and we're going to see Stu Skinner here tomorrow with Pittsburgh in town, so it'll be a reunion of sorts with back in town playing the Oilers with the Penguins.
Stop the presses. We'll come back on the goalie rotation in a second. Stuart Skinner's return. Skinner's return. What's the hype like in the City of Champions for that?
I don't think a lot, to be honest with you. I think it's one of those things where the Oilers have moved on already. It's crazy to say. It's only been, a month and a little bit here, but I think the Oilers fans were looking for a change. I think Stu Skinner, for the most part, was looking for a change. He was a big part of this team for 2 Stanley Cup runs. They can't get closer than what they did. And now they're hoping that Tristan Jarry can do that. And if Jarry can't do it, the way Connor Ingram has played, maybe he can do it.
Well, it's funny because I'm sure you've beaten that dog to death. You're probably tired of talking about Stuart Skinner. Listen to me, I get it. But when Martin Biron said that the Oilers skaters had given up on Stuart Skinner, remember that earlier this season? I said, maybe Stuart Skinner's given up on them. Like you say, it's good for change is good, can be good.
Well, I'm glad you remember that because that's what I told you the last time I was on.
You did not say that.
Did
you say
too.
That?
Yes,
okay, I know we were. Okay, continue. Tell me how right you were.
No, I did because I said that several times because the Oilers were playing so bad in front of their goaltending, no matter who it was, if it was Skinner or Cal Pickard. But it's a different dynamic. The confidence is it's a little higher with the players. I'll give Biron that. But the Oilers were not playing very well in front of either of their goalies prior to this trade and prior to Ingram getting called up. And Ingram has been sort of a breath of fresh air with this team. He's been really good. It's a great story. We're seeing him being quite interactive with fans, teammates. So I think there's a situation here where they're going to have a split. I think Jarry could go again tomorrow, even though Chris Knobloch said last night They sort of not sure about kind of what kind of workload that he wants to give Jari moving forward in the immediate future, coming after he's just returned from the IR. So we'll see what happens. Either of them play goal tomorrow, Saturday against Washington. Anaheim's here as this long homestand continues. I think Oiler fans are quite confident with whomever is in goal right now.
Well, I'm glad that they're happy because Oiler fans are hard to appease. But I'll ask you this. You and the viewers were saying how bad the Oilers were last night. So how's that any different than when Skinner was there?
Don't know. I mean, it was, you think after they played two really piss poor teams on the weekend, shutouts both games. Vancouver 6-0, St. Louis 5-0. Those are probably two of the worst teams that I've seen play this year. But New Jersey was on a back-to-back. They were 3-4. The Oilers were 3-4. But New Jersey came out hard last night. The Oilers weren't prepared to play at the start. That's concerning to me. They've got an opportunity here with a lot of home games to string some wins together. They're not going to get close to Vegas for first overall in the Pacific Division if they keep doing this 2 out of 3 BS. They got to go on a bit of a run here. I mean, Leon Draisaitl hasn't been here for 3 games now. He's back in Germany attending to a family matter. They definitely miss him, especially on the power play, although they haven't had a lot of power play opportunities. I think there's a good chance that we might see Leon by the weekend, Saturday against Washington.
Kevin Karius here from Sports 1440 Edmonton. Just the last one on the goalies. I could talk about it forever, as you know. So Calvin Pickard is the third, like he'll be the odd man out by the time they decide?
Okay, right now, this is the best thing that they can do. It's not the end of the world to have 3 goalies around the rink at practice, etc., up until the Olympic break. So you're going to technically have a good month and a half here before it's all said and done when you have to make a call on what you're going to do. They have to make sure that Tristan Jarry's healthy. He's been on the IR twice. Connor Ingram, we know his story. He's got to get, more importantly, to be 100% where his headspace is. Great interview Gene Principe did with Connor Ingram and his dad Brent when the father's trip happened and the Oilers won those 2 games in Nashville and Chicago. Well, they didn't win both, but they got the overtime point. I mean, the support that Brent, the dad, they're from Imperial, Saskatchewan, given Connor Ingram, and to see him back, I mean, you're seeing it right now in Ottawa, a similar situation with a goaltender. But he's got to make sure his head space is there. That's why they can't afford to send Cal Pickard down. If he gets taken off waivers by another team and picked up, that's a bad news and a bad move for the Oilers. They need depth right now. They can figure this out with a 3 goalie system after the Olympic break.
Of course. Hey, it's all between the years, especially at that position. We speak our own language. So I'm pulling for Connor Ingram. We all know that he's got the talent, right? I hope that it is a great story. We're all pulling for him. How can you not from Imperial, Saskatchewan?
I mean, you were the wackiest goaltender to come out of Saskatchewan. Like, certifiable.
It's a long list. You know, 3 most famous guys from Imperial. Chris Knobloch, Connor Ingram, Bob Krawchuk.
He wasn't from Imperial, was he?
Oh, I thought he was. We'll have to look that up. I thought he was. Okay. Artemi Panarin's going somewhere. Where do you think it'll be?
Where do I think it'll be? Florida or Minnesota, although Florida has problems navigating things, especially with Barkov sniffing around, maybe like he might come back. The whole thing here, the biggest thing that's going to happen this year, we're not going to see as much movement, Rod. There's no way because of the teams having to be cap compliant in the playoffs. Maybe there's some team that can bring them in where and there could be up to 50% salary retention, no more. Panarin's what, at 11.5, 11.6? Maybe the Rangers eat some of that and it's kind of gets sweetened, a deal. But teams have to be careful here. They can't just pick up players like they have in the past because they can't be, if they're not cap compliant, once the playoffs get around, the guy's not even in the lineup then. So you got to be careful here.
Sure. Well, he's going somewhere. And, you know, my people are saying Vegas because they get everybody that they
Yeah.
want. I still don't know how they do. But, looks like Vancouver has had their flea market. Quinn Hughes gone, Kiefer Sherwood gone, whoever else will be gone. How much have you watched
Pedersen.
Vancouver this year? Yeah, well, Elias,
Pedersen.
I
I
wouldn't be
watched
trading.
Vancouver a lot. Pedersen. Everyone thinks he's going to be gone. I don't want the contract if I'm people. I don't want if I'm a team. I don't want 11.5 million up until 2032 or whatever it is. Don't want it.
Well, what are you seeing out of that team?
Nothing. They're lifeless. They have zero direction. They have the coaching decisions that happen when they make a trade and they pick up a guy like Z Boom and then healthy scratch him. I don't understand a lot of that. Quinn Hughes, obviously, that trade was the signal to the end of their year. Sherwood was more of a heart and soul guy with the hits. He's going to cash in. Pedersen, some people think that he's playing well. Well, as opposed to what? He's not even a point a game guy here moving forward. Like, what are they? Besser can't score. I mean, he's emotional. They have nothing left out there. They're in a rebuild. And just think about this. Think about this for a second. Vegas isn't going anywhere. The Oilers aren't going anywhere. San Jose is going somewhere. They're way better than Vancouver right now. Anaheim is way better than Vancouver right now and will be for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Vancouver could miss the playoffs for a decade here. That's how bad it is, unless they figure out what they're going to do and tear it down and build it up properly from what they have. And again, even just little things like Bo Horvat. A lot of this, to me, in Vancouver started before, the Pedersen and Miller thing. It was with Horvat. That's the guy you want to build around. Those are the guys that make you a championship team.
Hey, who was your coach with the Mills?
Well, Sonny Familak was there for my first year, and then Mike Polonich was there for year number 2. He was the brother of Dennis Polonich, longtime Detroit Red Wing, and a real tough guy. Mike was tough too. And then the last 2 years, John Mignot was his name, and he came in, and actually he played a lot in the WHA. Played in Philadelphia, he played for Vancouver, I think. He also went to Montreal Canadiens camp. And John was from Kimberley, BC, and his whole life he was called Mignault. That's how it was spelt, Mignault. And he was a BC guy, worked in the mine in Kimberley, went to Montreal Canadiens camp, and Claude Roel was the coach. And they said, Mignot, get over there. It's the first time he ever heard his name pronounced in French, Norby.
I love that story. Well, I have a point why I asked, but you'll get a kick out of this because you and I never talk except on the air. So
Yeah.
Bill Lindsay says to me a couple of weeks ago, he goes, who'd you grow up? He goes, who was your team? And I said, I live here, the Panthers, I guess. He goes, no, nobody grew up cheering for the Panthers. Like, who was your team? Because he's from Fernie. And I said, the Oilers. The Oilers. And he's like, well, anybody of our age, we're all Oiler fans growing up, right? For, whatever. But the reason I ask about the Mills thing is you've seen coaches and GMs come and go. That's my point. As a player and now in the media, are you as fascinated as I am with the Sabres just going, what the hell? What the hell? You fire one guy, and then all of a sudden they're the 85 Oilers.
It's crazy to think where they are and from where they were. And if they can continue this, and again, I just had a good chat with a guy at a WGR 550, Mike Shope in Buffalo. We were talking about the Bills for the most part, but he's obviously, well connected and has been covering the Buffalo Sabres. He thinks this is one of the best stories that he's seen in the hockey ranks, even going back before, just because of where the team was this year. And again, for 14 years and not making the playoffs and trading all these guys away that go on to win Stanley Cups, like the Reinhardts and Eichels and O'Reillys and all these guys. I think, as he said, there's a new wave of optimism right now in Buffalo. They just got to keep it going. They got to keep it going. I mean, that's the one team that I am pulling for out east to see them make the playoffs. And as you know, at the start of the year, and your Florida listeners are going to love this, I told you at the start of the year
Yes,
that
you did.
The Florida Panthers would not make the playoffs this year.
Still a half a season to go, Dickie. Don't be doing a victory lap yet. Don't be pulling a Leon Lett and celebrating at the 1 yard line. We're at midfield still.
At least, at least I'm not pulling a Doug Lett.
Dumb Doug. Yeah, exactly. Hey, well, listen. Oh, now I could go on for a lot longer with you, but at least in Buffalo, they're not trashing Kevin Adams anymore. They're trashing Sean McDermott today. See the orders or the Bills owner saying that the draft selections weren't the GMs, they were McDermott, just trashing a guy on his way out of town. It's the way that it goes.
And also Keon Coleman, right? He's trashing Keon Coleman. So if you're a player, why do you want to go there? Like, just sometimes owners get so far out of their lane that they don't know how much damage they are creating and causing. Terry Pagula this morning is a prime example.
Well, and then Bisciotti over in Baltimore had his news conference last week, the Ravens owner. Hey, put a mic in front of all these guys. I'd love to see the idiotic things that they say. It's
you know what? You know what's funny is I'm just watching. I'm on this episode 7 of America's Team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh.
Isn't it great?
No, I know it all. I'm a Cowboys fan. I didn't need to watch it. I had a front row. I've had a front row seat.
You got to watch it. You have to watch it.
I have seen it. No. I've seen it. It just pissed me off more. I'm a Cowboys fan. I knew all this stuff.
Wow.
What did you like? What did you like about it?
Well, I like the beginning stuff, all the oil business and the stuff behind the scenes. Right now, I'm just into the Michael Irvin, and basically that's the beginning of the downfall of that organization. And I just, again, when you think about it, with Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones, had they been able to form some kind of a partnership, of a relationship, I just wonder how many more Super Bowls they would have won.
We all think that as Cowboys fans. But hey, Chris Jones, Ed Hervey, they could have won 8 in a row. They couldn't be in the same room together, or even Gretzky. You saw a King's ransom. How many Stanley Cups could you guys have won? What did he say? 7, 8?
No, I think he said 2 or 3 more, because he said they had 4.
Said?
He said 2 or 3 more. Yeah, 2 or 3.
They still think about that up in Edmonton, right?
Wow, for sure. They're just hoping to get one more here, Norm.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we have less than a minute. Your Super Bowl picks. You got about 45 seconds. Super Bowl, who's it going to be?
Well, I'm going to, just because of the Bo Nix thing, so, I'll take New England in that game. And then I'm going to take the LA Rams to go into Seattle and win that game. And then I'll take the Rams to win the Super Bowl.
Isn't that something? Do you remember who your preseason pick was for the Super Bowl?
I do not. Did I say one?
No, probably not, but I did. Detroit and Buffalo. I got the balls to make predictions. I'm usually wrong, but I don't care. Yeah, and that went out the window. So anyway, nobody had the Rams and the Patriots, I can tell you that, except people in Boston and LA. All right, Dickie, thank you. Go have a nap.
Okay, take care, you old cone snail.
The great Kevin Karius from Sports 1440, my oldest friend in the perilous broadcasting trade. I'm not sure he would agree with that, but that's what I think. We'll be coming right back with a sports update and viewer takeover on the Silver State.